Welcome back to Dragon Quest Builders 2! This is probably going to be the last of what exists in the non-DLC game. You see, last time, we cleared up most of the stuff, or at least introduced most of the stuff, in post-game. So today, we're going to be kind of finishing up what we've missed out on. I missed. So, for one of the first things that I should mention is I went ahead and looked through and unlocked every recipe that I could unlock. Turns out there's only one left. The recipe for Hargon's Throne, which we actually have one, but we don't know the recipe for. In order to learn the recipe, we need to build a Chapel of the Children. So that's going to be a task for the day. Other things that I unlocked, though, along the way were a lot of the workbenches that I mentioned before from Builders 1. Look at all of these things. So I built all of them just to see, like, what do they even let you build? And most of them just let you build things you could already build, just maybe a very specific subset of them. Like the woodworking bench let you build most wood items that were already available. However, there were a couple things that you didn't normally have access to. Specifically, here, this is where you go if you want to build a couple outfits on here. Builder's workwear, plain clothes, and wayfarer's clothes from Builders 1. So you want to run around 110% as Builders 1, there you go. The other one was the stump. Like, the stump didn't let you build anything. Here, it lets you build all the broken stuff. All the little rocks just laying on the ground. Want to make a rock laying on the ground? You can make a rock laying on the ground. Want to make those pillars that are toppled over? You can make those pillars that are toppled over. You can make the disfigured throne. This is also where you make a lot of kind of weird things that you could find out on the Isle of Awakening. Such as the flower petals that we used in the spa, as well as the boulders that we used for the edge of the spa. And this is where you make the super-sized skull. I was trying to figure this one out. This is where it is. This is where you do it. In that vein, so it is the Whaler's Mail that requires the super-sized skull. The Whaler's Mail, though it does have better defense than what came before it, the spiked armor and the liquid metal armor. Yeah. Though it is better, I think it does do the thing where you're like kind of paralyzed and just every now and then you go, and you can't do anything. And if you use the item that removes a curse, it forcibly removes the item. Which means you're just not going to get access to this defense without detriments. So we do, in fact, have the best equipment that we can have. So alright, cool! That was a lot of things that I kind of figured out while we were out and about. Also, I have a hammer. This hammer's real nice because I discovered that there are some blocks that you just flat out could not break. And with this mallet, you'd hit it and it would go boop, boop, boop. Those were the protected blocks, and it felt like it doesn't matter what you do, you're not able to break those. This mallet can break them. In fact, what's cool is if you wanted to do something like chisel, or honestly even the trowel, over those blocks, it would not let you, as long as you had this equipped. But all you had to do was equip this one, and you could use other tools on those protected blocks. So I used our newfound hammer to A, make this less annoying to get up, and B, I revitalized all this crap. Everything up here looks nice and fancy now. Really, it's just this, which I almost forgot about. And then up at the very top. Everything up here has been cleaned up and tidied up. Fixed all up and fancy now. looking, at least I would guess, how it was intended to look. Didn't take that long, honestly. Most of it was fixing up the floor. What would have been time-consuming was fixing the tops of all of these pillars. But the tops of them were usually pretty good. Okay, you'd get a bunch of these, like, brick blocks here that were cracked, but those were easy enough to fix. Everything else was mostly just doing the ground and figuring out where I want blocks to be. But yeah, there we go, we did it. We fixed up the thing, and I closed these two chests. There's nothing in them. It just felt awkward for them to be open. So, with that said, what else did I get done while we were out and about? I fixed this up over here. Not a ton of work done, really. But I did fix this up, so our treasury down here is actually looking pretty. We'll be back there shortly. And I went upstairs here and got rid of most everything up here and gave the pets a place to sleep. So what happened to the spa resort, you might ask? There it is. So I added a door here, going right outside. This is where you normally go over and you had the, what is that, the armory and the training room? Yeah, the training room. So I just made a little outdoor thing here that leads over, and we have a much larger, fancier spa resort. So yeah, looking nice. So the only thing left that it just now occurs to me that I forgot to do was over here in Poison Land, I wanted to replace all of the dirt on the far end with poisonous peat. So that's something I forgot to do that I'll have to do at some point. But on that note, what else do we have to show off? Not a lot. That's the work I've been doing. As far as unlocking things goes, we just need to finish up our tablet targets and I guess build that chapel. Build a chapel, work on tablet targets. So let's go work on that. So first thing, we are missing... Let's just head right back and look at those tablet targets. Let's get a refresher. A reminder, if you will, of what exactly it is that we have to do. These three. Plant every kind of flower, recruit residents with different jobs, and make lots of different tile types on your map. So this says every kind of flower. There are, in fact, more than 15 types of flower. But you don't need to have all of them. You only have to have 15 of them. 15, I want to say it's exactly 15, are flowers that you can get seeds and plant. Or at least get the flower as a block. Not all of them you even have to plant. But there are more flowers that still count towards this, but you have to use your builder's hammer? I forget what the hammer is. Our new hammer. We have to use our new hammer and go out into the wild and find them. So, I'm not going to be hecking with too much of that, but this one should be relatively easy for us to do. Recruit residents with different jobs! That's something else. We only need one more job, and there's at least one job that we have pretty easy access to. So, that one shouldn't be too hard either. And finally, make lots of different tile types on your map. We're at 24 out of 26. And it shouldn't be too hard to get the remaining 2. I think I came here by accident. I'm hitting the wrong button. Yep, because I don't have the right liquid. Let's just pretend I warped here first. So what we need for this is two things. Liquid. There we go. Get that plasma. And we should have the other item we need just kind of in our inventory. So let's go plop down two more thingamajiggers. Pretty easy to get here from here, and I'm just going to do it right over here where we were before. Let's free up a little bit of space. There we go, nice and easy. Just fill this up with plasma, and that should get us... There we go, look at that. You can see it right there. And then the other one is we're going to need you. Because something else we ran into over in Malhalla was scales, which do actually have their own spot. And that'll do it. That was probably one of the hardest ones for us to do. And we ended up needing some things from Malhalla. There are, of course, more tiles than just that, but that is all we really need. There were some more right there on Malhalla. I have no idea what those build oculars do, but we're gonna find out. Next up, there's only one job left. And it shouldn't be too hard to get. Because we know somebody with that job. Over on Furrow Field, good old Princess Pepperoni. And you know, while we're here, we've got a whole bunch of friends out here. And we should probably bring them over. So let's move Helen to... You know who I think will appreciate Helen? The Furrowfieldians. Erisplottle, where do I want you to go? A lot of these I feel like I'm probably going to be moving to the steppe. Sure. Griswold, sure, you can go to the steppe. Gremville. White Bones. And now these four down here, I think these have more to do with our Crumble Dun friends. Because these are the ones that we met while we were in Skelcatraz. Dang, really? I'm at 60 out of 60? Oh, because I didn't count. Darn it, Jeff. I made sure I had enough people that I could get rid of some. Alright, I made sure that I had enough people that I could get rid of. I didn't take into account that, pepperoni would take up a spot. Dang it. Alright, Jeff, you're just gonna have to wait for a minute. We'll get you out of there here soon. Hey! Hey, where are you going? That's my room. Well, they're gonna go have a good time. Okay, so that was done. That was important. So I do actually kind of know what I'm going to be doing in order to free up that space for the last person, and then I'll have all the space in the world. But the last thing we need to do is... Maybe I should go get some poisonous peat. I'm gonna go do that real super quick. Well, crap! So I mentioned that you could get this in Malhalla. I actually missed it, but it was there in Malhalla. And it's a rare drop from the skeletons around here. I wasn't expecting it, but there we are! How about that? There we go. So technically this is witchgrass, this isn't actually spoiled soil. But I think that's fine. In fact, I feel like this is probably what I should be putting down. Anyway, that was just kind of bothering me. So we still have 2 tasks left to do. We need to plant flowers. And once we plant the flowers... that should give us our final tablet target. So let's get working on that. So it's one of these. I put all the flowers I need in one of these chests. There we are. So most of these flowers are flowers that we've already seen and we got access to when we went to the most recent Explorer Shores. There's this Poinsettia, which is in the Defiled Isle. There we go. There's Bogwort, which is also in the Defiled Isle. I don't think this one counts, though. No, it doesn't. There's Tingleweed, which I don't think this is on Defiled Isle. I think this is on the Unholy Home. Why did I just get... Oh, somebody must have killed an ant. So I think this was on the Unholy Home, or some such. Yeah! How you doing, buddy? Nah, come on. Malrot's a good guy. Anyway, in the Unholy Home, up top of the mountains, there is Tingleweed, which does count. Tingleweed is the stuff that paralyzes you when you step on it. And last but not least, you can get the Tingleweed seed from destroying the Tingleweed plants, but I hit it with the hammer, so I just got the plant and saved us a little bit of growing time. And finally, there's the Blooming Poxglove, which... okay, I guess. Of note, the Blooming Poxglove does count. The not Blooming Poxglove, the smaller one, does not count. And as I mentioned, there's also a ton of flowers if you go back to previous Isle of Awakenings and use the fancy hammer. There's like rose bushes and stuff everywhere. Oh man, I want to know his life story. Oh, he's got a crush on someone? Is it Lulu? have you met us? Or, you know, the Builder 1 builder? Yeah, I have no idea what these are. We'll find out. Yeah, I have to equip it. Oh no! It's not actually a tool. It's just... clicking the left stick. Whoa. From how far? From how... Okay, that's still a pretty friggin' good distance. It's almost a... It's almost like a creative mode camera. Not quite, but almost. It even has the thing you do in first person. You can see the little arrow. And what that arrow means is if I actually put the block down, the block, as long as I don't move the cursor, the block moves, the arrow moves, and I can just do this. If you move the cursor or the camera, of course, that does that. But that's fancy. Thanks, Malroth. You're a cool guy. Okay. So that's all the tablet targets. Oh, do you have a quest for me? I want a quest. Is there something beyond this? I thought this was going to be it. I want to fix the weather. Fancy. And that should be everything. I'm kind of surprised he doesn't say anything on that, but yep, there we go. So let's take a look at what we just unlocked. Because that's all the tablet targets, all our rewards, all the mini medals turned in. So we can take a look at the wizard's workbench, see what does it take to make you. Just magic crystals and grass fibers, which are, you know, free. That's neat, though. So we can slap one of these down and change the weather. And then in here, there's the liquid metal sword. Oh, I need more silvery sludge. Poop. Well, that's fine. That's just about it. What else is there for us? There's one recipe we have to unlock. And that is you. Also something up here. Oh, it's these. So let's get making this Chapel of the Children. I think that's going to be it for us. So I'm going to be making it up here in the Cerulean Steppe. I couldn't think of a better place for it, and this kind of ends up being kind of the default if you're going to make something somewhere. I wanted the children to have access to it as well. So I kind of flattened out the area over here and covered it in snow in some hope of stopping the friggin' chimeras from spawning. So a good start for making these over here is going to be getting blocks that I don't have. There we go, that looks like a much better framework. Alright, let me just go fill this thing in. It is really difficult for me to express just how useful these build oculars are. I built this thing in relatively no time at all, and that's kinda silly. So I don't think I have any doors on me, because no, never mind, I have 29 doors on me. I thought I'd gotten rid of them. In an effort to clear out my inventory, I got rid of most blocks that I knew I could craft. For free, especially. Man, y'all need to get a life. So anyway, we've made a large room. I don't need any of these anymore, so I've just been deleting them. They're free to make, and this way they're not clogging up inventory space for something that I'll probably, like, never use. Don't need all these doors on me, either. Never know when you need a door, though. So in order to make this room, this is probably going to be the last thing that we make on the main island. So you may have seen earlier, I had all of these items right in here. And while I'm at it, I can put my music sheets away. And I can put these seeds away. So in order to make the Cathedral of the Children, the Children's... something... the Chapel of the Children. That's the word I was looking for. In order to do that, it needs to have all of these things in it. I pre-looked into it. So it needs that. I forget what that thing is called. That. The Citadel cross carving. It just needs one of each of these. So that shouldn't be too hateful. Sure, let's put you right there. Of course, we need an unholy altar. We need some torches. Gotta keep the place appropriately moody. I think you just need one torch, but I'm gonna put two down anyway. You need an unholy idol. I think, once again, you only actually need one. I think it's fitting to put down two. And you need a single fiendish face. I'm not sure where I want to put the fiendish face. I think it's too high up if I put it there. Just put you right there. And there we go! And now all of the residents can come out here. All of our monstrous residents can come out here. And I don't know what they're doing because they're not praying to Hargon because Hargon's dead. It feels really weird doing this in Moonbrook. Honestly. Given their history with monsters. But anyway. So that's the final thing done! Which means that's our final thing unlocked. So now that should be right in here. Hargon's throne. All nice and done. So as far as I know, that's everything. We're kind of out of things to do. And that's kind of sad. It's kind of sad because I've enjoyed this game so much. Knowing that... Of course, I can go out and keep building on my own all day long, but there's nothing left for me to accomplish in the base game. I'm happy with the way all of these locations look. I'm happy with what I've done for all the residents. I've completed every tablet target, gotten every mini medal. I've accomplished and built everything that I need to. It's a little sad. But hey, you know what? We've still got more to do. Because this game has DLC. Now, the DLC I'll add, before everybody gets their hopes up for some grand adventure, it's mostly a couple of Explorer Shores that open up. And those Explorer Shores let you get more recipes and some interesting recipes on top of that. That let you build things that you wouldn't otherwise be able to build. Hopefully they maybe have some guys we can beat up. So that'll be something cool to look forward to as well. So until next time, everyone, when we check out the DLC.